Grand rising, my fellow sister queens, and grand rising to everyone here who is ready to bear witness to the power of voice and agency of a Black woman. Thank you for being here. My name is Chris Omni, affectionately known as the Health Hippie, and I'm about to take you on a journey of self and collective restoration. As you can see in the title slide, we are about to drop our capes. That metaphorical cape that's associated with being the strong Black woman. It's time to let that go, embrace who we are in all of our beauty, and we're going to do this for the next hour. I am giving you permission, not as if you need it from me, but I'm giving you permission to pause the world. So join me in a moment in a collective breath where we do nothing more than breathe. Inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth. Continue this cycle 3 more times and we'll continue on the adventure. Fabulous. One of the other reasons why I like to breathe in the beginning is because I like to honor my ancestors during that time. My mama became a part of that rank in March of 2016. My dad is still with us, but he almost became part of that ancestor rank in January of 2021, this year, because of COVID. So whenever I slow down enough to breathe and be present with breath, it makes me think of those who can no longer breathe. So as you take this one last collective breath, I want you to think about who you are going to give honor to. Who was it that allowed you to be in this space right now and that their breath is really still coursing through your veins? I would love to see it in the chat if you would like to do a say their name. If you want to type the person's name and we can breathe through those names together. I hold this space for you now. As the names continue to come in, we will continue on this adventure. And I have a question for you. So hopefully you're already used to operating in the chat, but we need to burn some incense. We need to set the mood and welcome you into the queendom because we already had our individual and collective breath, but now I need to know from you, which one do we want? Do we want the jasmine or do we want the vanilla incense? So please give me an answer in the chat and I'll get it going for us. And even if you have some candles at home, this would be a good time to grab a candle, pause the world, drop your cape, and be present. Thank you. We honor Angela Jackson in this moment. Ashe. We honor Catherine Coles in this moment. Ashe. Donald Coles, Rosie Drumgoole, Colnette Whitehead, Jasmine. And I'm not going to say all the names because we will be here honoring names and the people who have been very instrumental in our lives for the entire hour session. But letting you know that I appreciate you sharing these people with me and in this collective queendom space. Ashe to all of you and your loved ones. So since we are going to go with Jasmine. All right. Jasmine has been pretty popular. So give me just a moment. Let's get it going. Something about it. You can see it. If it was smell-o-vision, you'd be able to smell it. Wonderful. All right. The next thing I'm going to ask of you is to take your pulse, because I want to make sure that throughout this presentation, not only are you dropping your cape, but you're dropping your blood pressure. And I share these spaces because I have a master's degree in public health. I'm working on a PhD in art education, and I love marrying those two spaces. So within public health, we understand that health disparities truly disproportionately impact Black women, that we are 42% more likely to die from cancer. We are 60% more likely to be diabetic. We are 30% more likely to die from stroke. 80% of us are overweight, and 53% of us are obese. And that's just a few of the numbers, but I only gave that to you as a sprinkling because this space right here in the queendom, we're not focused on the deficit narrative. We're focused on the we're focused on the narrative of joy. And we are killing that time when everybody is focusing on what's wrong. That story is tired and it's tiring. That's why it's time to drop the cape. So I would like for you to take your pulse if you can. So I'm gonna try to demonstrate this way. Take 2 fingers, but not your thumb. And then pretty soon a pole will come up, not yet, but pretty soon. I want you to take your 2 fingers, come down from your thumb, come down the ridge, come down the groove, and sit right within that radial pocket. So this is the radial reading. I'm gonna be quiet for 20 seconds. And I just want you to breathe and try to identify that space. And then we'll do a 10-second count. So try to find your space. And you're going to count the number of beats that you hear for 10 seconds, starting now. And stop. All right, please put that number in the chat. And if you have a calculator nearby, multiply that number times 6. And then put your answer in the chat. The poll will pop up now and you'll see a range of options. I know y'all didn't sign up for math class today, so we won't stay here too long. But whatever your number was, multiply times 6, and then answer the poll question. I'm going to enjoy some tea. Give me just a moment. Please note the turtle on my tea mug. A turtle represents slow. This is about being slow and present and intentional. So the poll is up and I can't wait to see what your numbers are. And while we're waiting within this window of people responding, just simply breathe. This is not going to be one of your typical traditional webinars where you get pounded with information. We are pausing the world to be present with ourselves, our fellow sister queens, with our breath, with our ancestors. It's just time, it's permission. Somebody needs to grant it because we are busy taking care of everybody else. So consider it granted. Lemon ginger. I have my tea bag in there so that I can have another round when I'm done. So don't judge me on my tea etiquette. I do understand that after the first one, you're typically supposed to squeeze and release. I want some more tea when I'm done. All right, so the poll responses are coming in, and I would like to talk to you about those numbers. And let me see. We have about 33% of the people between 51 and 60 saying, okay, so it's across the board. Nice. So a third of the people are in that range of 51 to 60. What that is, and if you already know this information, just consider it a bonus. But if you're new to this information, what we look at in terms of a decent resting, the emphasis there is on resting because we are sitting and we are resting. To put it in perspective, Lance Armstrong has a resting heart rate, or had a resting heart rate in the 40s. So ideally, we're looking at a resting heart rate 70 and below, because we're not Lance Armstrong. We don't train every single day, multiple sessions in a day, but the average person, the average person tends to have a resting heart rate in the 70s. Now, if your heart rate is above that, and I see that a third of the responses are between 81 and 90, no alarms, but it's an opportunity to breathe more, to take a chance, to take a moment and slow down. Be present with your breath, be present with your thoughts, and try to pause the world, because a lot of times in this space of being the strong Black woman, we're going through this growing to-do list of who do I need to take care of next? What do I need to do at work? Who do I need to take to the hospital this time? What do I need to get from the grocery store? So as we're sitting and we're supposed to be relaxing, our mind is still on overdrive. So anything over 90 becomes a red flag when it comes to the resting heart rate. So keep in mind, less than 70 is average. Anything between that 70 and 90 is the call to action, really that call to action to slow down and be present. Anything above 90 is to have a really decent conversation, either with a health professional, with your doctor, with a personal trainer, or if you want to reach out to me afterwards. This queendom, I'm here to elevate my sisters. I'm here to give my knowledge to you so that we can rise together. I want us to continue to breathe together. So thank you very much for that chat. Moving on, I have a video for you to watch. This is a public service announcement, and I want you to take it all in, because we're going to get really interactive with our chat. And take it away. Here comes the video.
I used to lie to and hate myself. I used to wish I was somebody else. I needed something to numb the pain. I needed something to feel again. Maybe I could run away and find who I really am. Maybe I could run away and maybe then I'll understand. I am beautiful, I am brave. I am human and I make mistakes. But it's time to let go and be a superhero. Can't escape from myself tonight. In the darkness looking for light. Reaching out for a steady hand. to pull me out of the sinking sand. Maybe I could run away and find who I really am. Maybe I could run away and maybe then I'll understand. I am beautiful, I am brave. I am human and I make mistakes.
Dear Black women, let's learn to make our health a priority. Inspire other Black women to make their health a priority. Forge new paths to health and well-being, and transform the environment to make health happen.
I am beautiful, I am brave, and my life is mine to save. But it's time to let go and be a superhero. Ooh.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So you've been listening to me for the last 15 minutes. Now I want to hear from you for about 15 minutes. So please take this moment to jot down some thoughts in the chat. What did you see? What did you feel? Could you relate? Did any of the words kind of stir around in your spirit and made you say, ooh, you stepping on my toes? So I'm gonna be quiet and let the chat basically guide the next 15, 20 minutes of this presentation. I should be taking some notes on these so I can remember to come back. Mm. I'm loving all this, y'all. Incense flowing, good conversation. Keep it coming. Thank you so much. Y'all are giving me a whole sermon right now. Y'all better come on. Very valid. Very valid. All right, so continue to let this information dialogue box flow. But y'all have given me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 beautiful points of a sermon. And y'all, I can deliver a word, and I'm about to deliver words that came directly from each and every one of you. And if you, oh, there's more, hold on. Here comes number 12. Okay, I love this. Thank you. I wish I could see y'all. Maybe for everybody who's responding, if we want to do like a separate tea and Zoom in a queendom session, let me know. Send me an email, put it in the chat. Be like, Chris, I want to join the queendom. We can make that happen. Tea and incense. That's the cost of admission. Tea and incense. All right. So I'm going to jump around a little bit from what you were talking about. And once again, feel free to continue to put information in the chat. This is all being recorded, so I'll be able to go back and review the comments once again. But I want to tell you a little bit about the filming and what was coming to my mind when I created this public service announcement that was aired. I mean, literally aired as a public service announcement on our local television station. It aired for, I don't know, 2 months, 2.5 months, somewhere in that neighborhood, because we had 4 15-second spots. So at least 2 or 3 times a week, this commercial was being broadcasted across Kansas. So that's where I'm from originally. I'm born and raised in Topeka, Kansas. Now I live in Tallahassee, Florida. In Kansas, as you can probably imagine, there are very few of us. And if I say anything, so I know I can't see you and I can't hear you, but you know how we do call and response? So if I say anything that resonates with you, please put it in the chat like, right, you got it, come on, anything. So I know that you're understanding what I'm saying. But the Black population in Kansas is 5%. The state of Kansas, 5% Black population. And after Mama died in 2016, she died from cancer. She had 4 different bouts of cancer, and March 31st, 2016 at 10:20 a.m., she took her final breath. And in that moment, I was the only person in the house, and I watched her transition. But it seems as if that last breath that exited her body entered my body and my spirit to start researching what do we need to know to prevent this type of pain moving forward. Eventually, we are all going to take our final breath. No question about it. But I want to make sure that we're enjoying the breaths that we have. And part of that was to have the research to support why we need to take our capes off, why we need to actively and unapologetically pursue joy. So after Mama died, I decided to go back to school after 15 years. I was the oldest person in the classroom. maybe one of two Black people, and definitely older than the professor, not really thinking about, what am I going to learn that I don't already know? I've been in the field at that point for almost 18 years. I was 45 years old. No, I wasn't. I'm 46 now. So I was probably 43 years old at the time. And going through that journey, I was able to create a movement. And that movement was called Black Butterflies. And all the women that you saw in that video were part of my master's thesis, involving themselves either with Black butterflies or the different offshoots that came from that. These 14, 15 queens on the stairs represented various age groups. So the very last one that you saw was in her, she was 39, about to turn 40. The next row beneath her were 40s. The next row beneath them, 50s, and that last row with the three queens, 60s. I wanted an intergenerational conversation about taking our capes off. And that ties into one of the comments about single parents. I did not write the names down because it was coming around so quickly, but whoever made the comment, so my apologies, it made that beautiful soul think about single parenting. And what do the kids witness when they grow up in that environment of seeing their parents constantly on the go? With a PhD in art education, we're going to claim it. 2023 is coming. My conversation is through visual and digital storytelling. So you have already, through the chats alone, confirmed why this is such a powerful medium. But think about the stories that you tell in your everyday interaction with your kids, with your siblings, with your friends, with your coworkers. Do they, and talking about kids, bringing it back around, do they always see you on the go? Do they always witness you juggling something and moving and running to the next location? And what type of story is that telling them? Because as you sat here and watched that public service announcement, people are sitting back and watching your public service announcement. And it doesn't have to be broadcasted around the nation or across a particular state, but it could just be broadcasted to those little eyes that are watching you. So I invite you, I truly, truly invite you to change the narrative. I did not say, keep in mind, when you think about the title of this presentation, I did not say burn the cape. There are times that you got to put that mug on and fly. You have to go ahead and suppress some things so that you can fly. But this presentation is about granting you permission to drop the metaphorical cape associated with being the strong Black woman. If there are times when you have to pick that mug back up and put it on temporarily, there's the key right there, then that's okay. Because your actions are telling a story. So that was one of the comments. Let's see if we can get through the other ones. To build off of that, one of you responded, and I love the question, how will things get done if I don't do them? Remember what I said in the chat? Y'all better put a hello somebody, or an okay, or an amen, or you right. The chat is open if you can relate to any of this, because I know, because I started out as a single parent. And this right here is a good question. How will things get done if I don't do them? Let me put it a different way to you. At the end of the day, if that happened to be your last breath, and you're thinking about your job, do you know how long it's going to take them to put your job announcement up? Maybe 24 hours, maybe 48 hours. If you are really one of those top-notch employees, it might be a week. but your job announcement is going to be posted shortly after you take that final breath. So if it does not get done, it don't get done. And when you think about this, put it in context of how many job announcements you see, and think about retirement, that people, yes. Okay, somebody said delegation is something, but then I read the bottom. It's like, we're going to get back to delegation, but yes, call and response. Give me the feedback that you're hearing me. That so many people retire, and yes, they will repost your job ASAP. Come through with the comments. Yes, thank you. But so many people work diligently, day in, day out, 20, 30, 40 years to get to the place of retirement. And then after they retire, a month later, they pass. 2 months later, they pass. They were wearing their capes for so long that it became a regular part of their outfit. And if you continue to wear something so long, a cape can start to strangle you. And then when you finally have a chance to remove that cape, the hold is still there. So if it doesn't get done, it doesn't get done. And I want kids to see that. I want our kids to understand that maybe your day starts at 6 or your day starts at 7, but have a cutoff. Even the sun has to rest. There's a sunrise and a sunset, so the sun can come back and do it all over again the next day. You better come on, somebody. We have to, my sister queens, we have to learn to let some of it go, because we're telling a story to our kids. All right, let me continue. See, I told you I can do a whole sermon on these. I appreciate y'all. And I only got 27 minutes. Uh-oh. All right. So somebody said that it was powerful. We, us, Black women, sister queens, melanin, all this, that's power. And yes, to see us together as a collective is very powerful. So come through with that. Start engaging in sister circles. Start engaging in healing circles. Start giving yourself permission to not just breathe, but breathe with others, your fellow sister queens. Come on now. All right. So in this video, somebody said that it was validation. Oh, uh-oh. So I thought we were going for a whole hour. Y'all, I only have y'all for another 10 minutes. I am so sorry. I can get going and just can't stop. Remember, we can create our own queendom. It does not have to stop at Upswell. So if you're interested, you know how to reach me. You've seen the information on the screen. Let me get back to your comments. All right, so the video was validation that it's okay to take a break. Remember in the beginning, I said, this is your time to pause the world. There are so many times that we press play. We go, we go, we go, we go. But who's given us permission to press pause? Me, Chris Omni, affectionately known as the health hippie. Press pause, validation. Somebody else said that they were looking in a mirror. Let me tell you, when I left Kansas and I moved to Florida with my husband and my 3 little pups that you've probably seen walking around here behind me, every time I saw a Black woman, I was seeing myself. I was seeing aunties, I was seeing cousins, I was seeing sisters, not by blood, but because we share similar experiences and histories, and just to see somebody that looked like me. So if we can begin to see ourselves in each other, imagine the strength that we can exude in that space of mirroring one another. So if you begin to take those steps to breathe, your sister begins to take those steps to breathe as well. The video for somebody was time to slow down. That's what this whole presentation is about. Time to slow down. I thought it was an hour, but it's 45 minutes. Oh my God, there's some really good comments coming on. Somebody said, when I took a break, my boss asked if I had a mental breakdown, so I cannot rest? People have been trained to expect us to wear these capes 24/7. All right. Okay, I'm trying to decide how raw and real I want to get with y'all. But if you want to join the queendom, then you just got to know who you're going to get. One of my class papers, philosophy class, I created a title that really spoke to me that could have rocked the boat. And this is going to speak to Ellie's comment. When I took a break, my boss asked if I had a mental breakdown. Not everything is for everybody. We have to do what's best for ourselves. And if they don't get it, fuck them. Sorry, I just needed to let y'all know that's the way I feel about it. So if there are some sensitive ears, you may not want to join the queendom. I'll try to keep it just to a minimum. All right, so it takes a village. Thank you, Rosie. Respectability politics. All right, I'm gonna stop. Y'all, I only got 10 minutes with y'all. Okay, come on. All right, so it takes a village. Absolutely, indeed. If you don't have a village, start creating the village. And some people ask, well, how do you do that? We moved 1,050 miles from our home in Kansas to here in Florida. And it's just something that we do naturally. Have a conversation. When you are at a grocery store, genuinely ask somebody, especially us as somebodies, how you doing? How you doing, my sister? How's everything going, my niece? What's going on, my queen? Any type of engagement, because in that moment you are holding space for them. And a lot of times we don't have opportunities to have held space. So by doing that and continuing, if that's your regular grocery store, then that becomes a part of your village. So, all right, I only got 7 minutes. Please let me know when I'm down to 3 minutes, because this is gonna, oh my God, I don't want to leave y'all. This is too good. All right, so let the shoulders rest. I couldn't say that any better. I love that one. So when we carry tension, now y'all about to have me put my public health hat back on. When we carry tension and stress in our body, the number one place that we hold it is in our upper back. And this is what tends to happen. A lot of times we carry stress in our head, but it manifests itself right here in a visible form through this. If you just take a minute, not even that, because I don't have that much time, take 10 seconds to do a body check. Where are your shoulders right now? Hopefully they're down, low, relaxed. And I won't have a chance to do the post test to have you do your blood pressure, your resting heart rate again, because I thought I had an hour. But yes, let the shoulders rest. I love that. All right, somebody put ask for support and offer support. You know what? That goes back to that conversation about creating and holding spaces for us, even at a grocery store, even at a gas station, even in your place of employment. And remember, not everybody is going to get it. So when I call my queens, when I call Black women queens, not everybody gets it. There are some people that might even get offended. But if it starts a conversation about how you would prefer to interact with me, then we are creating and holding spaces where we grow together. And sometimes just asking how somebody is doing is asking that, you know, that support piece, because somebody just needs to talk. Somebody needs to get it off. All right, 5 minutes left. I can go over 5 minutes. Thank you. All right. So the next one, we don't need capes. Oh. Somebody said we don't need capes if we have us watching our backs. So I modified that just a little bit. And if you saw the videos, all the capes were hanging off of their backs. So just imagine if your sister had your back. then you wouldn't need the cape on your back. Ow, this is too much fun. Okay, all right, next. I couldn't make this up if I tried. All right, so next, that was what you said earlier. How will things get done if I don't do them? Y'all already know my answer to that. All right, so that was it. That was the last sticky note. And thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to laugh with you, hold space with you, enjoy joy with you, have a collective breath with you, to hopefully frame your day on this beautiful feel-good Friday. I can't see you, but the responses that I've been getting, that's feel-good Friday to me. So I'm going to be quiet for a little bit. It is 10:41 on my end, and I understand that I can go over for 5 minutes, but I want to turn the floor over to you. And as there's just a little bit of a delay, we breathe. Take this moment to tell me what brings you true joy. For today, this is my answer. Thank you for bringing me true joy. The floor is yours. I want to read it. I want to feel it. And let's breathe as we're doing this. I love these comments. Thank you so much. Thank you. We still have a little bit of time, but I was going through the comments and continue to tell me about joy. Quality time with my baby. Thank you, Angela. We spoke a word. I didn't have that planned. Y'all put that in the comments and we rolled together. Thank you. Yes, Auntie. Yes, knowing my nephews are safe and cozy in their beds at night. Ashe. And thank y'all for the permission to be real. The do you, be you, for you. We can handle it, sis. Speak on it. You don't have to censor yourself. I don't. That's why y'all got it. Thank you. Dancing, sisterhood. Yes, yes. And you are most welcome. You're most welcome. The queendom. Let's create it. Let's do something. There are so many times that these conferences end and then it's like, okay, well, maybe next year. Now let's do something now. Let's do a virtual tea. Let's do a queendom across the nation. I'm down if y'all down. Movements. My movement and the baby in my womb's movement. Come on now. Y'all gonna make me rock. Yes. So it is officially 10:45. I know they said that I can go over, but I'm going to close this chat box. I want to take a moment to comment on one of the messages in the chat that I didn't get to when we were going through our list. Somebody wrote that they witnessed their mom work exceptionally hard. As a divorced mom, that she worked hard to hold it down. And then for her to witness her mom work that hard, that became the narrative for her to do the same. Then when you bring that down to the next generation, in the chat, and I'm assuming, so I don't know, but I'm gonna say the sister queen said that her daughter said that she felt inadequate because she wasn't working as hard as her mom and wasn't working as hard as her grandma, because that was the narrative that had been passed down throughout the generations. I couldn't plan this shit any better if I tried. The strong Black woman phenomenon is a generational storyline that has to stop. We have to remove our capes so that the next generation see that it's okay to remove their capes. And maybe within 2 generations, we can burn these capes. But by you being here today, you're already setting the tone. The seed has already been planted. So to each and every one of you, if you don't get anything else, A, get that I love you, that I am honored to have held space for you and had a collective breath with you. B, it's okay not to be okay. C, drop the cape. Drop the cape. My name is Chris Omni, affectionately known as the Health Hippie. If we want to get this queendom started, you know how to reach me. All my information is up on the Upswell site. I am grateful for you. Ashe.